Heads, Lauren here, Mrs. Tomato Head. I said last week that I wasn't going to do a garden tour this week, or that I thought it might be the final garden tour of the week, because the garden's looking rough, and I've said that now for a couple of weeks. We're in western New Jersey, out almost to the border of Pennsylvania, kind of central as far as the state, and then off to the west. And I guess 6B is the zone. But we went all summer with basically a drought. I mean, we went a month maybe with really little rain. We'd get like a brief shower for 5 minutes and then nothing. Hey, Becca, glad you're here. Glad you could join. And then I guess it was Tropical Storm Debbie last week. She dumped a lot of water on us for like 2 days. So I was saying to my friend Linda, who just in the chat here for advertising the chat today, that she lives like 10-20 minutes from me. And we were trying to figure out, like, my garden looks like it normally looks end of September. Especially raised beds. Hi, Yvette, glad you're here. Welcome to Tomato Tuesday. I didn't even know if I was going to do this. Hi, Sue, glad you're here. Heidi Jores was here earlier dropping something off, and it was like 2 o'clock and I still hadn't decided if I was going to go live or not, because I'll be honest, this time of year gets overwhelming. Becca says we had the same drought and now some standing water still in places, but we flooded. Definitely a dry season. Yeah, you know, I say this every week too. I hate to complain, and I'm not going to complain, because my season as far as tomatoes has been epic, and I'll show you some of those. If it's your first time joining, welcome. I've been doing this. Hi, Drew. Glad you're here. Doing this for a couple months now, I think, these Tomato Tour Tuesdays. And even though the garden looks rough, the tomatoes are still coming in hard, fast. And so I've got seed saving going on. I've got making my recipe for tomato crack, which I then can. I've got a guest coming again, which I'm excited about. So, you know, between seed saving, and then I'm doing, if you're in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, my group, we have Micro-palooza coming up in a couple weeks, starting September 1st, and in Pepper Lovers Swap, by the way, which I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes, which is where anybody who wants to participate, we just grow micro-dwarf tomatoes indoors. While tomato season may still be a very big reality in your world, when it's December and January and you've got ripe little tomatoes, even though they taste quite as good as your indeterminates, it's epic. I will tell you, it's epic. So last year we did it for the first time. We started November 1st, and it was great, and we had a great participation. It's a lot of fun. There's no financial obligation or anything. We just kind of, you know, report on our plants, which ones we're growing. We share pictures weekly. It's just a lot of fun and something fun to do through the winter. Why did this up? Because I have a variety I've talked about. Hey, there's Heidi. Hi, Heidi. Hello, Tomato Heads. It's a variety I've been talking about for months called B times McBeth, not bed times McBeth. Somebody picked up on putting in there a while back, and I think others in the group are thinking it's bed times McBeth. It's B times McBeth. It's a variety by the genius Tom Wagner of the United States. And it's a micro mini dwarf. I've got 3 plants growing in 2-gallon grow bags that are about, I thought they were 15 inches, and lately they've been exploding to more like 20, but can be grown in smaller. I grew one in a green stalk. It will just not produce as much, but it's totally fine. I bring it up, why am I crazy? Because seeds for this are impossible to find. Even Tom Wagner himself did not have seed. My friend Cindy checked for me. I was given seeds by a member who used to sell seeds. They were 10 years old. And other than that, you can't find them for sale anywhere. You can't find anybody who has them, or at least I couldn't. And I the feelers out to many, many places. I tried to grow these 10-year-old seeds from this gentleman in our group, and they weren't germinating. It took, you know, week after week after week. And the little information you can find on Googling, the World Tomato Society shares that it is a variety. It's got wild tomato genetics in it, and it does take longer to germinate than most. I was about to give up like right around 4 or 5 weeks, and boom, all of a sudden one germinated. I had them in damp paper towel in Ziploc baggie on a heat mat for all that time. One germinated, and then I had 2 more. I tried starting in soil, that didn't work. I had 2 more on paper towel. They weren't germinating either, but I threw them in my Aero garden, and within like 2 days they germinated. So that left me with 3 plants of this really, really hard to find micro and long keeper. So I've been growing this, and my hope and intention was to distribute as many seeds as possible to as many of you, as many of you, yeah, that sounded weird for a minute, as possible, who want it. And so we can grow it out. Hi, Michelle, glad you're here. So we can distribute it and get it back into circulation into the tomato world. It's a really great variety. Let me show you. So again, back to my craziness, let me finish my thought. I can never finish a thought when it comes to tomatoes. I'm like, shoom, 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 tomato, this, but that. I've been really wanting to give out seeds. Hi, Idaho Garden Girl. And I've seen many of you in Micro-dwarf Monday requesting seeds. I also gave a plant, hey, Michael. I also gave a plant to Jen Joy, and I also gave a plant to Cynthia Floyd, and also one to Heidi, and Deb Thitherker, in the hopes that they too can share seeds if it grows for them. Thankfully, the plants give off a lot of suckers. That's how I end with so many plants. So I want, hey Cordaro, hey Ansel. Welcome. I think this might be my last garden tour of the year. Although I did that last week. We'll have to see. Things are looking rough out there. Back to bee times. So I've seen many of you wanting it. And honestly, I am so swamped right now with seed saving, with, processing tomatoes, harvesting, everything that comes along with tomato season, running my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. And also all seeds that I've got I'm backed up on from the gifts from my Thursday show. We're talking months I owe people seeds, and I know this. To get Bee Times McBeth out to everybody who wants it before Micropalooza starts. Don't you love how it takes me like 7 minutes to finish a thought? I need a vacation. Rob said something to me the other night. It was late, and I was up, saving seeds and doing my thing, and he said, tomato season, it's a blessing and a curse. I wouldn't agree with the curse thing, but sometimes it is like I'm feet all day long. But I'm having a hard time not saving seeds from every tomato. I just do. And I should be down now, late season varieties. I don't need to be saving seeds from, but there's certain varieties that are super rare that I super love, that I need seeds for everybody who wants them. So I'm a bit anyway, so I put up a post in the group yesterday and then another one today, trying to help me out to get these Bee Time seeds out, and just requesting that you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. Yesterday I accepted, I think, 35, and I had to kind of recalibrate, figure out how many dried seeds I had, and was able to give away, I said 30 more, which I did, and then I looked in my spam folder and there were like 30 more of you in spam, not even requests. Spam. So thankfully I had enough seeds currently to grant those as well. So many of you, I think it's like 80 something now. If we've confirmed over private message, you'll be sending me self-addressed stamped envelopes. Some of you I did grant prior to this happening, by the way, so don't worry about sending me an SASE. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get those out. Consider Bee Times official. I think so, Michael. I think so. Let me show you. So today, after all the craziness, once I saw how many I was giving away thanks to the spam folder, I came up. Thankfully, I've still got a big bowl full of them. And I've got 3 plants that are, one in particular is still swimming in fruits. Let me show it. This is my bowl after seed saving. I've got a lot of fruits. Bee Times McBeth is very, very prolific, and I'm grateful for that. And each of these fruits have a lot of seeds. And then this, am I showing this? No, I'm not. This is the amount of seeds I'm saving today. Come on, camera, stabilize. There we go. So I do have enough dried seeds to give away For everybody, I committed to over private messenger, but there's a lot more to come. So if you weren't able to get in on the deals, there's lots more to come. I can't imagine I would ever have to turn away anybody for this variety, and I have a lot more on the plants. So even things are looking rough in my house here. Of Arrow Garden and my Hope Garden. This is Mighty Mini F2. It's a proprietary mini tomato from Arrow Garden. I grew the seeds in soil. Drew, you need extra workers. That's so funny you say that. Rob said that to me the other night. I said, we need a farm hand, and we're not even on a farm. I need a tomato head hand. Anyway, I took the seeds out of an Arrow Garden pod several months ago and planted it in soil. And Michael knows this. The reviews on this from Arrow Garden growers said it was terrible, but in soil was really delicious. So I saved the seeds. This is the F2. It used to be a round cherry. Now it's kind of this little heart thing. So I'm now saving seeds for this, and we'll be growing out the F3. I've also crossed it with something, which I'm not going to share yet. I'm not going to share yet. I've got those F1s growing now. I'm super excited to try to get a really tasty micro out there. Hi, Lauren and everyone at work. Sneaking into view. Hi, Kathy. Glad you're here. And then this hot mess over here. This was a, well, it was a couple things. I've got basil that's truly gone to seed by now that I don't even pick anything from. I've got quick snack cucumber. I think I just need to add more nutrients because I wish you could help too, Drew. That would be fun. I've had quick snack cucumbers do amazingly well in this. Territorial Seed and other suppliers have a variety of cucumber called quick snack. They put out, I'm saying they're too small. They can be this big, little cucumbers. They're an F1 hybrid, and they're delicious. And I had a plant do great. I've put 2 more plants in, they're not doing so great. And I know my friend Michael's here. I just don't do hydroponics well. I need to read up more on it. And I know the nutrients are off balance. So I've got some pretty sickly looking cucumbers here, and just the shape of it tells me it needs more nutrients. So yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. I need to pull everything out of those, and I wanna do some things for Micropalooza in there. I mentioned Micropalooza in the Pepper Lovers Collective. Tomato Eden has a great number of Micro-dwarf. It's fine, you're a soil boss. I am, Michael, and you're the hydro boss. You're our resident hydro expert for sure. TomatoEden.net has an amazing variety of micro mini dwarf peppers. And Heidi yesterday asked in Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap, what's an easy to grow one you can grow inside? And I wish I still had the plant. I had it up until a few days ago, but this is a variety from there called Caramel. Fifi Tabascos are small. I've just recently, as of yesterday actually, uploaded into our guides a Google spreadsheet on micro-dwarf peppers. It is not complete, not even close, but I think some kind of Tabasco's on there, but you'll have to check. It's in our group guides. I don't think it's pinned to the top. It should be. Towns and Chile. Well, look at the spreadsheet, you guys. If there are things you know are missing from there, and we're talking anything under 24 inches, I would appreciate a private message to let me know. I know Ken Fry is going to work on it also. But for now, I hope it's a good resource, especially for Micropalooza coming up. But anyway, this variety is called Caramel, and they're cute little chocolate beefsteaks. Did great in the Arrow Garden, in a Hope Garden actually, and put out a lot of fruits. My problem with micro-dwarf peppers, growing them indoors, is they get really buggy. I'd love to hear suggestions for organic solutions to that from anybody who does micro mini dwarf peppers inside. Last year I did do albino bullnose and purple beauty. And I think another one from Tomato Eden called Chocolate Baby. Yes, I did. And they grew great and got some peppers from it. The leaves get really buggy. And I do have the yellow sticky traps. Hi, great to catch you live. Hi, Our Joyful Days. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here. I'm going off on tomato tangents. Actually, right now it's a pepper tangent, which is, if you've never watched before, it's really typical for my show. You may or may not see my garden at some point. He was here earlier dropping something off, as I already said, and she said, people don't even care if you get off your deck. Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, so the leaves get really buggy. I did recently find an organic spray that, now I'm forgetting the name of it. I have it in the garage. I want to try this year. Ken Fry has, I'm going to plant Nastia Mini from Tomato Eden. That's a pepper? I thought I had all of her mini peppers. I must check. Speaking of which, Tatiana from tomatoeden.net, she just got back from like a tomato convention, festival type thing. And she said the Lord Tomato got a lot of great feedback from people. So I'm super excited. She sent me another picture. It looks beautiful. Still can't believe a tomato is named after me and Kina and Jen. That's just amazing. Let me show you, send you a photo of the pack later. Please do. I thought I owned all of her mini micro packs, but I don't. But for those of you looking for micro peppers, Tomato Eden's a like one-stop shop for them. I grew KS White Thai Chili in Arrow Garden for 18 months. I grew that one last year. It was really nice until the trunk got so large the pothole constricted it and basically choked it to death. Sue, they're up website? I didn't know. I gotta go get them before they sell out. I'm signing off. No, I'm just kidding. I'll have to go on. She didn't tell me. Super cool. I think I checked as recently as yesterday. They must have just gone up. Hey, get them while they're hot, gang. Lauren, Kina, and Jennifer Tomatoes. Thanks, Sue. Good to know. Wow, she did say she's sending us some, but I'd like to order extra packs to give out as prizes. I feel like I have to, right? I have to. Gosh, I wish I didn't have to wait a year to grow those. I should try indoors. That would be kind of crazy. That'd be kind of just as crazy as Michael trying to grow his noir indoors. Becca says, I've painted Princess in a crack key 16-ounce setup since November. It has stayed fairly small and doing well. Good to know. Painted Princess, I don't know that one either. Yeah, if you can let me know any varieties you know of under 24 inches that aren't on the sheet already, and the spreadsheet went up in Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap yesterday, please let me know. You ask everyone what's on your wish list for micro-dwarf tomatoes. What's on your want list for micro-dwarfs, Lauren? Oh, that's a nice question to ask. Gosh, mine are really hard. I have so many people that are so generous with semi-micros that are really rare and stuff. I can't think of one off the top of my head. There's a few F1s that I don't have. Magna 15, I think, is one. Amber just, I think today, promised me she's going to send me Napus 4, and which I've been wanting for a while, and Algar, which I did have, but it didn't germinate for me. I do have a wish list. Now I'm not thinking, oh, there's one called, I haven't grown Cherokee Rose Green, Michael, but I did get seeds. It was almost on my wish list this year. It looks great, right? That was new for her a couple months ago. Almost dropped into soil, but didn't. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, there's one that I've only seen here. Cherokee Green is good. I grew Cherokee Green and I grew Cherokee Lime Stripes, but the Cherokee Rose Green that she has is brand new. I think I haven't seen it anywhere else. I'm not sure if anybody this year grew it. She did have it out in time to grow it. I just didn't grow it this year. Cherokee Rose Green. If you look on their website, it's beautiful. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, there's one called Pizzeria. I think it might be from China or Japan. It is on the Micro-dwarf master spreadsheet in Tomato Lovers Collect Swap. So if you click on that, I'm really looking for that one. I've never heard of anybody growing it. I've just seen a listing of it. That's a nice question though, Kat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me show you a micro I do have, Miss Michael. I showed this last week too. This is Michael's micro. I still have yet to taste. I was waiting for a couple more so I could do a nice little photo shoot, but Michael Kelly, our very own Michael Kelly, this is his F2, right, Michael? F2. Yes? Why am I brain freezing? I won't say what the crosses are. That's up to him. Yep, F2 looking good. Aren't they beautiful, gang? I mean, tomato, this is what breeders take years and years to create. I don't know if your F3s are all similar, Michael, but yeah, they're elongated bullet cherries with a point, little antho on top. Maybe I'll taste it live on the show on Thursday. If it's your first time here, I also do a live show on Thursday. I'm sitting down for that one and obsessing about tomatoes some more. Here's an example of what all the rains did to a lot of my tomatoes. This is Carl's Emslandtraube, which is one of my favorite cherries of the year. I've shared the story on the show several times. For my review, I'm sure I have nothing to be nervous about. Maybe I won't do it live. I don't want to put you on the spot. These are great. I rated these 9 out of 10. They're delicious. The grandson of the 103-year-old breeder reached out to Jen and I several months ago, asking if we'd be interested in growing it. We both did. Jen's garden actually got eaten by deer, so I'm not even sure she got to taste one. It's a delicious red cherry. I am saving seeds. Things like this are still fine to save seeds from. Thankfully, it's very prolific, and I really loved it. So that's an example of what happened to a lot of tomatoes in my garden. All right, let's look at the money shot over here. Well, first, this is what we're tasting tonight. You would think we've run out of things to taste that we have not tasted yet, but we have not. Here we have Viator Tres Grosse. These came from Spain, from my friend Sand Halette. There's a longer name associated with it, Viator Tres Grosse. It's longer, but it couldn't fit on the sticker, and now I'm forgetting what it was. This I've been excited for too, Gordo de Patones. I think these are from Spain also. Those of you that have followed me for a while know I've been forever searching for the perfect red. And you may know I've found the perfect red. After 30 years of seeking a red that knocked my socks off with flavor, I was convinced they didn't exist. I was convinced that they were just okay. We're growing Assol this year, ASSOL, and it's very good. Good enough, would I grow it again? Maybe. I get that about any other red. Bacon lettuce in this is the tomato of my dreams. I don't have any that are super ripe right now, but I do have 2 that are ripening. Here's what I've got going on. And wait till you see outside. I can't even, this is just the Jarson and table and a couple extras at the end. I can't keep up with it. Hence why I'm overwhelmed. I'm giving away as many as possible. Here are 2 bacon lettuce and tomatoes. They're big. They average about 1 pound. They have, to me, and maybe you guys would agree, they have that old time look to them, like what you'd find in your grandpa's, your family garden from when you were a child, maybe at the farm stand, maybe even the grocery stores back when we were children. This is what like the, what's the word I'm looking for? Quintessential tomato of my childhood. And I really wanted a red tomato that embodied my memories of a really full tasting red tomato. And look, I mean, it's not like we don't try. Every year I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to forget and stop because it's just not worth the time and effort. I'm just not going to find it. But I did. This is the tomato for me. Do we share the same palate? Who knows? But for me, it's got intense flavor. It's very sweet. I'm forgetting what the brix was offhand, but Rob does the brixing when he tests. I want to say it was like, what's it called again? It's called Bacon, Lettuce, and This. It is bred by a man named Gary Fitzgerald, otherwise known as Tormato. He is heads up Tomato Junction, which is a fantastic message board for tomato heads. I'm actually going to share more about it in the group soon, because if any of you watch Jen Joy's channel, and I'm sure you all do, she did an unboxing. I was on it with her, 2 days of unboxing for a swap called the MMM swap. it was over the winter, she got hundreds of seeds. That came from Tomato Junction. Gary Fitzgerald Tornado heads that up. And so I've been talking to him. I wrote him to tell him how much I love the tomato, that I was going to put up this great review. I wanted more information on it. And so we've been corresponding back and forth. And, I said, should I, get people to, do you want people for the MMMM swap, or is it going to be too overwhelming? Because I know once I promote it, everybody's going to want to do it. Especially if you watch Jen's unboxing videos, although he did send her extra because he kind of wanted to get the word out there. So not everybody will get 100 all. So for now, he said I should just promote joining Tomato Junction. A lot of people mistake it with another board called Oville, which has been around for a long time, but they are not accepting new members. Tomato Junction's different. They are absolutely accepting new members. So I'll put something up in the group later today or tomorrow about joining. It's very easy, and he's a really nice guy. Why did I bring that up? I guess just talking about bacon lettuce and this and him breeding the tomato. It was a natural cross in his garden of, is it Granny? Oh gosh, I'm forgetting now. Granny Cantrell? Granny something, I think. In my review, which is in the group and on Instagram, I talk all about it. And on my Facebook, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head page, it is an insanely delicious tomato. I'll tell you about a new one, though, that we tasted the other night. And this surpassed Assel as the number 2. This is called Ed's Millennium. Some of them are going bad already. Ed's Millennium. Doesn't look like much. Seeds for this came from Secret Seed Cartel. I think we rated it a 7.5, which is really good for us for a red. Maybe 7, but I'll put the review up soon. It's season, which reds seem to be for me. Really prolific and really quite delicious for a red. Had I tried that bacon lettuce in this, that would be my favorite red. Is it close to bacon lettuce in this? No, it's not. But it's really good. And I don't say that about reds often. Thanks, Drew. Yeah, it's starting. You see, these are the things that make me crazy. I see it starting to go. And I'll show you what's going on out in the garden. I share all the time that I pick at first blush for a lot of reasons, to avoid splitting when I can, and pests, critters, all that stuff. And I find, in general, the flavor doesn't make a difference. I've found a few tomatoes where it does. This one is one of them. Guyetta, which I just seeded the heck out of yesterday, but I did save a couple. Chef Guyetta definitely tastes better ripe off the vine. But most of them, we don't notice a difference at all. So that's why we do it. So we keep them stem side down always on the counter, never in the refrigerator. That will give you a tasteless, mushy, mealy tomato. What do I have going on here that maybe you haven't seen yet? Oh, there is a new kid in town, another one that we have not tried yet. The plant's starting to go, so I picked them. This is another one from Secret Seed Cartel called Carrie Claxon. It's an orange, and I don't grow only oranges. To me, they're super boring. The website said they were really, really rare, and so, well, that's all I need to hear. Not getting many fruits on it. It is in a grow bag, which, sometimes they aren't the most productive for me, and I don't fertilize them probably as much as I should. So anxiously awaiting that. That one we have not tried yet. But basically, I think what's on the cutting board over there may be it as far as what we have not tried. We finally reached everything, which is crazy. This one I share every week. This has been a favorite of, I gotta zoom out here. We have had so many great tomatoes this year. We have added several 9 out of 10s, which probably we had only a handful out of all the years. We've added several this year. So I guess between doing good research with, trusting people whose palates I think are the same as mine. The group came into existence over this past year and trading with all of you from all over the world. All the gems, I mean, they're not all great, but many are extraordinary. So we've had a great year. We're giving out a lot of 9s, and this one, I don't remember if it's actually 9 or maybe an 8.5, but this has been a favorite, Bogatir Elucia. Not perfectly ripe yet. Saving a lot of seeds for that one. Oh, we tasted this one the other night for the first time. Really pretty one. I got from a friend in Poland. Anakitovaya. Anakitovaya it's called. That was really fruity, tasty, sweet. Oh, I hear a fly buzzing in my little Zevo trap there. You can tell when they're stuck. Sorry, dude. Not sorry. Anyway, Anakitovaya was really tasty, fresh, fruity, sweet. Not too intense the flavor, but honestly, sometimes I'm in the mood for just something refreshing, and this had a lot of flavor. So I really liked that one. Was a bit disappointed in Carol Chyko's Big Paste Black, but we want to taste it again. Really, really productive. Abraham Brown, I retaste, and I liked that a lot. I will do an episode. I talked about this last week, but somebody suggested that I do an episode just showcasing all the 9s that we've accumulated so far. Maybe I'll do that this Thursday. By this Thursday, I should have tasted everything. So I can do all the 9s, maybe the 8s and 9s of the year. But don't get me wrong, we've also given out a whole lot of 6s and 7s this year. We're growing basically, it's 150 plants, maybe 140 something new varieties. So they're definitely not all 8s and 9s, but a bunch are, and I want you guys to know about them. Let me tell you about a variety that is going to make everybody crazy. I know bacon lettuce in this. I knew when I put the review up, it was going to make everybody crazy, and I don't intend to do that, only because do top best and top worst videos. I could. Videos require editing. I give Jen all the credit in the world. I just don't have the time or the knowledge for the editing. I've done it, but it takes hours, and I know how Jen does it. That's why I do a lot of lives. But Jake was here last weekend, and we recorded 3 videos. I uploaded one, which was, which one was it? Oh, growing Micro-dwarf tomatoes indoor start to finish. Uploaded that and shared it last week. I also have a video of how to make tomato crack, my recipe, start to finish, and then save Micro-dwarf tomato seeds. I should put that one up next, probably. Well, they're both pretty important. I don't have any editing. I'd really just need to upload it, but haven't had time, busy playing with my tomatoes. Oh, back to bacon lettuce in this. I knew when I gave it the review of 9.5 out of 10 that it was going to be problematic because, oh, Michael, really? He says, I'll edit them for you. You are just the sweetest man. Just the sweetest man. In fact, this group is full of sweet, generous people in general, but men, you know, I don't want to go off on the whole, I was going to go off on a tangent, but generous, kind. Michael, thank you. He's also our producer for Talk Live, in case you guys don't know. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. You're really, really sweet. I should do videos like that. And I know everybody wants test videos, but I've shared before. Rob and I do those privately, and then I share my thoughts via written reviews. But, you know, we can do videos like after, you know, best and worst. And there have been a few worst. All right, back to my thought on bacon lettuce in this. So that came, like I already mentioned, from Tormato, Gary Fitzgerald from Tomatoville. And he believes it's in the F7, F8 generation. He can't quite remember when it crossed, not crossed, I shouldn't say crossed. It was a natural mutation from this variety. He doesn't remember how many years ago it was. He's up in Massachusetts, United States. So seeds are just starting to get out there. I got them actually not through him, but through a friend in TLC, I think I had it as my most wanted, and she had grown it a few years ago and gave me seeds. So I'm not the only one out there who's grown it. And I know there's somebody growing it in the ultra rare grow out in TLC, but I knew because seeds are not for sale anywhere yet. I know Samantha Schaefer is growing it for sale, and I know Secret Seed Cartel is growing it for sale. So they will be available for sale in the fall, hopefully, if all goes well. It isn't the most productive of my plants. I mean, I've got about 10 or 11 huge fruits. The plant's really healthy. But what? I don't care. And I sound like a brat. 10 fruits is really, really good. I wish it had more so I could save it. And the fruit doesn't have a whole lot of seeds either. Is it bigger than banana snore? I assume you mean the plant, yes? Yes. Well, taller, we can look outside. All my plants are dying, but that one's pretty healthy. It probably doesn't get as tall as bananas. Not much gets as tall as bananas, which if you're not aware of my variety, if you watch me all the time, you are, but this is banana noir. You can see this is it does tend to split if it's out in the rain, but they're these beautiful, I think beautiful, saladette sized. It's a cross of ananas noir and a cherry. Inside is beautiful. If you go on my Instagram account, I have a post, and you can Google in the group and post, not one recently, but in the past, you can see the interior is just gorgeous and they're super sweet. Rob and I did a bricks on it the other night, and it was in the 8s, I think. Also doing some in a grow bag that are getting really tiny. They don't seem to be as sweet this year. So that is like, I think it's F8 this year. F7 or 8, I forget. They don't tend to differ so much, although Kina grew one out that had dimples in the bottom, which was weird, and they didn't taste good. So I guess they can be weird, but I'm sure many of you are growing it. If you are, I would love to hear your thoughts, good or bad, doesn't matter. But that's my pride and joy. And then I did do I'm doing micro crosses, as you guys know, but also did my first big girl cross this year, unfortunately, of an indeterminate, a dwarf and an indeterminate, two of my favorites. But unfortunately, I have to wait a year to grow that out. It'll be next year, the F1s of that, which is really super exciting. What other, again, bacon, lettuce, and this. I just can't finish a thought when it comes to tomatoes. I'm like a lunatic. So I knew it would be a problem, and I knew everybody would be wanting it. And believe me, I am saving as many seeds as possible to distribute. I may even consider only giving 3 out per person so I can give them to more people. I'm not sure. We'll see what I end up with. And the good news is there's those 2 vendors that will be selling it. I think Secret Seed Cartel is growing several plants, so they should be great. I don't know how many plants Samantha's growing. So that's going to be hard to find, but I've got another review going up, gang, that's probably even more problematic because it's really not out there yet. And it's freaking good. I think I shared about it before. It's this one. It looks like a tomato that I would hate because it's antho on the top. And I'll be honest, had I known it had this antho at the top, I never would have ordered it. This is called Malachite Elf. It came into my orbit, thanks to Kina, by Ludmila Kodzasova of Ukraine, and I ordered seeds from her. I messaged her the other day telling her it's getting a rave review from me. Spoiler alert, it's another 9.5, no joke. It's beautiful inside. We cut into it. I'm like, oh, it's beautiful, but it's going to taste like antho. It does not. And I've eaten several. Also doesn't have a whole lot. So when I say I've eaten several without the seeds, so I can save the seeds. The first one we ate with the seeds. So I'm waiting to hear back from her as far as when she's accepting new orders. Ordering, totally doable. At least when I ordered from her several months ago, it was via Western Union. It wasn't all that straightforward, but she's got a great page. If I remember, I will put her Facebook page in the show notes of this video. I did remember to do it with something last week because you wanted her out. She does accept orders via Facebook. But I don't know if she's open for ordering yet. I would imagine, and she's got a whole bunch of things. Hi, Nicole, you're here. She's got a whole bunch of beautiful things she's bred, a couple more that I'm growing next year. Electric Dwarf is one. I forget, she's a very talented breeder. But I don't want to overwhelm her yet until she's accepting orders. But believe me, you want to order from her. Very talented. There's also a site out of Ukraine, I think it's called World of Tomatoes, MIR.tomat, something like that. You can Google it, but I think she's in collab with them and they have a lot of her varieties too. They don't have that one yet. Hi, Urban White Buffalo Farm, glad you're here. Of course, as usual, it's 40 minutes in. I haven't even made it outside. We're talking tomatoes. But anyway, this rocked my world, Malik Elf. So deceiving as far as looks. And it looks exactly like a smaller version of the Jarson 1 striped heart from Graph, which also rocked my world. And I don't have one to show you because I seeded the last one last night because I want to give those out as much as possible. I do still have the Majestic, and I called it on my Thursday show week, my emotional support tomato, Jarson 1 tricolor. Tomato forum site again is called tomatojunction.com. Just request new membership. I'll put more details in the group, but for now, everybody should just, if you want to take part in that MMM SWAT, I meant to actually tell you about it today, Heidi. Just join, and then the message boards you will find the MMM talk. I forget what the M stand for, but if you watch Jen Joy's video, 2 video series on that, we did find out. Anyway, Jarson 1 tricolor, grew it again. One of the few we grew again, just because I gave away so many seeds last year and I want to do it again. A lot of Jardins aren't stable. This grew exactly like it did last year. Very prolific. This is one of the smaller ones. This one's not quite ripe yet. Looks incredible inside and delicious, absolutely delicious. Jarson 1 cross of Great White and Kazula 25. So yeah, so that's Malachite, and I know that review is going to be problematic too, but I just get excited about these things and I need to let you guys know. Suffer Well and Shake the Disease from Bill Yoder, also incredible tomatoes that I think Suffer Well, give a 9.5. Hey, Dancing Vita, glad you're here. Nana's Meatball Dwarf from Secret Seed Cartel, also a phenomenal tomato. I know a couple, but maybe I'll make this Thursday's episode on all the 9s, maybe of the year, maybe total, because there aren't that many, but we got some this year. That's full show. Over here we have the obligatory tomato crack that came out of the oven a couple hours ago. There's always a batch of tomato crack in this house. But I've started doing them overnight like Deb Toothicker recommended. So what do we have tasted tonight? Lloyd E. Fry. Weird Plant, Malachite Jen says the same thing. Some are coming out as beefsteaks. Others are coming out as this, plums. So I was thinking it wasn't true to type, but she said hers are also. So I'm getting some beefsteak, some plums. So I'm going to assume it's true to type. Got seeds from Happy Cat Farms. This was a really nice, I think I've shared about this with you guys before, Marzipan Gold. Really nice fruity tomato. This has been a favorite this year, Rusted Soul. Grew this because of Jen. It was one of her favorites of last year. Is that plant prolific and really tasty tomato. Arrows of Cupid is a really good one. Oh, Clairvoyant Sorcerer, is that a beauty? That's a yummy one. We're trying to figure out if that's the same as Cunning Wizard. And the plant is outside. This fruit you wouldn't know it, but the plant has fruits. Cunning Wizard has plants that look just like Clairvoyant Sorcerer, so I'm determining that yes, they are the same variety. Oh, so if you're in the group, you saw that this week Rob finally got his 2-pound tomato. I'll show you them when we go outside. I showed Heidi earlier. It's incredible. Tons and tons of these massive fruits, and we got one that was over 2 pounds. In fact, 2.5 pounds. I'm forgetting now how many grams that is. But we did taste it, and it's actually pretty good for a big one. You know, normally the big ones have It's all about the bigness, the largeness of it. And Yvette, thank you. Mostly mystery mater mailing. Thank you. I would not have remembered that. It was something along those lines, but I would have not have remembered. Thanks, Yvette. So yeah, large membranous seeds came from Carolina's Paradise on Etsy, Lydia Stafford, and they actually taste pretty good for red. I expected it to be tasteless, you know, Domingo, Big Zac, the great big ones. I just am not finding the flavor. Large membranous, I mean, I would, if I grew it again, it would be purely for getting big again. It's not one, I mean, they're kind of too for a sandwich, to be honest with you. They're all, remind me when we go outside, gang, because I do tend to lose track of things. They're just too big for a sandwich, for most sandwiches. I don't know how much this one weighs. Oh, Michael, I'm not able to give away prizes on the Tuesday shows because I'm doing this on YouTube Live. I don't have my StreamYard with me, but check back on Thursday and I'll give away more prizes. Oh, here's an interesting thing. They're not looking so great right now. I don't know how many of you are growing black Milo, but I am. And I'm not the only one. I know this fruit looks awful. It's on the way out. Mine are green. All my black Milos are green. And I did not make them up. Is large membranous meaty? I wouldn't say so, no. It's got a lot of open seed pockets inside. I will upload the full graphic soon, but meatier than I expected for sure. Anyway, if any of you are growing black Milo and yours came out green, let me know. It's very different from green Milo. In fact, it tastes better than green Milo. But I heard somebody else the other day, somebody else from our group, that also their black Milo turned out green. So would love to hear. I do know, and Malachi Jen reminded me of this, that black Milo is a descendant of green Milo a long time ago, like 40 years ago, but perhaps it mutated back to green. I don't know. It's really good. I guess I'm saving seeds as the green black Milo. Not going to announce that I'm distributing that because we really don't know what it is, but it's really pretty good. All right, should we go outside? What else do I have to show you? I've been, every time I say we go outside, I get sidetracked with something else. I've been sharing a lot about this one in the group, multicolor, which comes from Bounty Hunter Seeds. He doesn't know much about it, but what a producer this is, and it's a very good tomato. This whole bucket here is mainly full of multicolors. Really prolific plant. This was a pretty good one, Zolato. Forgot the rest of the name. Oh, you know, it's been really good. These are small ones too. Baba Rum, R-H-U-M. That's a really sweet, yummy green tomato. Kazula 25-1. All right, let's go outside. It is a garden tour after all, right? And we're almost an hour in. So let's do this thing. See if we can make it off the deck. It started raining a few minutes ago. Finally, don't know how long it will last. Well, I wish for you to have it last a long time. This is my table of mainly micros that I have to save for. Crazy. Oh, hey, here's mine. I picked the F2s from my first drop the micro. Let's get it out of the sun. So you can, they're not fully ripe yet. I've got about 15 to 20 of my drop the micro plants growing, and this is the first to ripen. So yeah, thanks, Michael. I think they're pretty too. I hope they're bicolor like the F1s were. Right now they're kind of a rosy bicolor. But the plants are all have very different fruits. So I've got roadside here. I shared about this on my Thursday show. This one is Ginny. That's dwarf mini antho pink panther. I've also got some regular cherries here. Kina shared about terracotta cherry today in the group. Here's my terracotta cherries. I've already been saving many seeds for this. It's a pretty good tomato. The inside is absolutely gorgeous. I think we rated this a 7. Very prolific, very healthy, really pretty. This is Mooncalf Stick, which is not a micro. It's on some sites as a micro. You've gotten to try roadside yet? I'm so excited. Yes, I have. It's pretty good. It's a super pretty one. Let me try to get a better color. Kind of like Michael's Micro-dwarf without the antho. Let me taste again right now. Wow. Better than I remember, actually. Very tangy, not a lot of sweetness, but lots of flavor. This was a favorite of the year, Dwarf Patio Plum, which I got seeds from Tomato Eden from. That was a really big surprise hit of the year. Here's Cindy C's Sheen. I will tell you that the hornworms love this variety, and some of them are, I'm trying to pick at first blush. Cindy, I don't know if you're there, but I love this variety. It's a really short one. It's like 4 inches tall, gives out a lot of fruits. Here's some Mighty Minis I was growing outdoors. Here's Tarzan. This is the F2 of Tarzan. Tarzan's a hybrid variety I got from a member in France, I think. He sent me the F1s. These are the F2s. And I'm just trying to grow them out, different generations, and see what happens. That's a tasty one, very prolific. Oh, here's Tiny Totem. One of my favorites. I use it for breeding. It's great growing this indoors if you're looking for something short that gives you good big fruits in the middle of winter. That's a good one. Hang on, Swamp Bits, let me see what you said. Now I'm more excited considering any information or video, so I just didn't know what to expect. Yours are so lovely. Thank you so much. That means a lot. That means a lot. I was, who was I talking to today? I don't remember, but I really want to show the world that micro-dwarfs don't suck. Oh, it was Heidi I was talking to. There's so much more to micros than the orange hat you get at Baker Creek. And so for the past couple of years, I've kind of made it my project, if you will, to grow everyone I can get my hands on and review it and tell you guys which ones I think are worth it and which ones aren't. Thanks, Harley. I appreciate that. Let me show you one that came into my radar a couple months ago. This is called Little Red and Black. It's more of a mini dwarf. Again, let me get into better life. More a mini dwarf. I'm growing 2 plants, but look how productive it is. It does have a tad bit of antho flavor. At first, I didn't think I liked it. Now I find that it is so little antho that it doesn't bother me at all, and they're really pretty and productive. In the process of saving seeds for that one, I know I've given out some seeds. I had to ask a friend to order it for me from Canada because the vendor that sells them is called, I can't remember. It's on the micro spreadsheet in the group. Usually when it comes to those, I can remember these things. I feel like it starts with an H. If I think of it, I'll say. But it is, if you go to the Micro-dwarf spreadsheet, look up Little Black, and you click, the link is there. Remember. Thank you, Michael. Yes, Hawthorne Gardens. Their website has that. And then a pepper, no, not heritage seed, but good guess, micro starts with an H. I was not able to order the US from that spot in Canada, so I had to ask a Canadian friend to order it for me. Let me show you a pepper that I'm excited about that I actually found Hawthorne Farms because I was looking all over for this pepper, and nobody has it. And I'm sure in Italy they do. It's from Italy, but I found it through there, and that's how I found Little Red and Black. Let's go. That'll force me to get outside, huh? Let's do it. Heidi was noticing this pepper just today. It's on the Slow Arc food list, which means it's a regional variety that is near extinction, and that this organization tries to bring more awareness to it and tries to bring it back into circulation. This is called Tomaticot. I get a good shot of these. Look at these. Look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? Maybe this is a better shot. Here's one starting to ripen. Huge. A couple sites say it's the tastiest pepper they've ever had. Let me find the tag so you can see the name of it. There it is, Tomaticot. You know, I'm not growing any green cherries. Well, that's not true. I'm growing Beautiful Ones by Bill Yoder. I think that might be the only green cherry I'm growing this year. Growing Jewel Beetle again, which is a micro from Heritage Seeds, Bunny Hop Seeds, but that's the only one, surprisingly. Last year we grew Green Doctors and it was terrible, but I hear Green Doctors Frosted is great. Anyway, back to Tomaticot. I'm growing 2 plants of this. I had one sort of ripe. It was sun scalded, so it ripened early. I brought it inside and I tasted the red part, and oh my God, was it delicious. So I'm hoping to save seeds from this. Or if you're in Canada or have a friend in Canada who can order it for you, you can get this and Little Red and Black at Hawthorne Farms. Here's one of my Little Red and Blacks. Honestly, everything just looks terrible. So it wouldn't be one all that conducive to growing indoors. It's more a mini dwarf. I think 18 inches maybe. You might be able to grow it indoors. I've grown things that tall indoors, but it definitely doesn't put the lil in little. Here's another one, really on its way out. And the hornworms are getting to these babies. Very productive though. So if you're looking for something like that. Speaking of productive, my B times McBeth, which you know I've been giving seeds out for. If you're just joining, I went through how I'm giving out seeds to as many people as possible. I have 3 plants growing. 2 of them are original from the seeds. I gave the third one original from the seeds I got to germinate to Jen. And then one is a sucker plant because I wasn't sure at the time, like, how many fruits does it? I wanted to share with as many people as possible. I didn't know how many fruits it put out. I didn't know how many seeds were inside because you cannot find more than just a couple words on B times McBeth anywhere. You Google it, there's a listing from World Tomato Society, and then there's a listing for it at Good Mind Seeds, which is closed. You can't find any interior pictures or anything. Now you can because I've put them out. But I didn't know what to expect, so I wanted to grow as many plants as possible so I could share. So this plant looks awful because my hornworm friends got a hold of this one. But look at the amount of fruits on this thing. Can't tell if the sun's in my eyes. I can't tell if I'm getting them all. Insane. Insane. So when I say you don't have to worry about getting seeds if you didn't make it for these first 2 offers, you had to have nothing to worry about. Here's a plant that's been looking good. These I started in February, and I'm telling you, this is probably, I mean, they've been producing nonstop all summer and keep flowering. So it's at least a semi-determinate. I'm going to keep one of them alive as long as I can, try to grow it indoors when the season's over. But holy cow, as Michael said, they're just loaded with fruits. After, I thought they were determinate. They were looking kind of sickly after the first production. I thought it was over, and then all of a sudden they got all this life back, and boom. So there's B times McBeth. Here again, I've shown this the last couple weeks. This is Pa's Pride Micro, Heidi Dolan's brand new one, which I gave a 9 out of 10 to. Really, and this is my second harvest from this one too. Really gorgeous fruits, very tasty. Has multiflora tendencies to it, lots of fruit, very productive. This, since it's the second ripening, I don't have anything ripe yet. I've already saved seeds from the original. And Michael, yours is pretty healthy too, considering everything else is dying. Got to check my mailbox for Pa's Pride. Did you order it? It's a good one. I mean, it looks bad, but it looks good compared to a lot of things. This is Michael's Micro. Mikey Micro. Looks really good. This is Chernichka Blueberry. I've just picked my first ones of these. This is very hard to find. They're from a Russian company called Elita, which is no longer in business. So I've got 3 plants a-growing, hoping to save seeds for that. I know, Michael, your cluster. Look at you. You did this. You're a tomato genius. Got some things growing in this green stalk. I have to fill up, I'm intending on filling up this green stalk with the lettuce I've started down there. I just filled up this one. This had all this kale and brassicas that the cabbage moths just took everything. And it had been bugging me. Everything was dead and overgrown. So I finally got the lettuce planted in there. So now I need to do it in the brand new pink one. Just haven't gotten around to it because, you know, tomato season. All right, what did I want to, I want to show you, gosh, I want to show you guys so many things. Should I keep going? We're at an hour. Here's another Chernichka blueberry. The foliage is kind of gone from this one too, thanks to our hornworms, but got lots of fruit. They do tend, this and Veroni Glaz do tend to split. Well, of course, a silly question, right? All right, I'll keep going. Hope it's a little hot out here. Hopefully things don't overheat. I haven't had to worry about that in a while. This is looking pretty bad, but this is the Adam and Eve micro from Grafsamina. It's really two plants. They're not one plant with two colors. One is Adam, one is Eve. For hanging, I don't know if you'd call it hanging. Right now it's hanging, but they're really tasty, really tasty. So you can get those on Grafsamina. It's called Adam and Eva. That's good. Here's Heidi Dolan's other. She's not released yet, but I've been very fortunate to grow up. This is called My Two Gingers. I've already grown out one. She's not, I don't know when she's ready to release it, not yet, but she's been giving these to me to, you know, so she can see what happens with me. You get nice big reddish orange fruits, this gorgeous carrot leaf foliage. Those are staying pretty small. My other one got pretty big, so I'll be curious to see what it does. This is the F2 of Candyberry, believe it or not. Candy Tom Red or Candyberry. So this is what can often happen if you grow out seeds from a hybrid. It will not be the same. So keep that in mind. I mean, I do it all the time, but for trading purposes, I always let people know that, like with the Tarzan I showed inside, I always say it's an F2 because what I show in my pictures, my reviews, it could be a completely different tomato because honestly, when you, let me get out of the sun here. When you have a hybrid and you save seed, you grow it out, you save seeds, and you grow it again, it's not the same tomato. So like my little Napoleons that I've been growing out, I switched, it's a hybrid or dehybridization of little Napoli. And it's so different. You know, this is, I think it's on the F8 generation now. I can't possibly call it little Napoli. It's not a destabilized or dehybridized little Napoli because it's not. It's a different tomato. Hybrids are when you put two varieties together for a very specific person. It's like if you were to grow out Sun Gold. I think I've gone on this tangent before. You're going to get a tomato. It's not going to be Sun Gold though. So in the micro world, this is happening a lot. And things are getting lost in the sauce, pun intended, where people aren't listing when things are an F2 and F3 and F, you know, whatever, or an F1. And it's making people think they've got a stabilized micro when they don't. So we can all rectify this and do our part if you know it. Sometimes you don't know it. You know, I was growing Candyberry. I ordered the seeds. Actually, I got the seeds in a trade, and I had no idea it was a hybrid until a couple months ago. It's still delicious. I'm now growing out my second generation of what I had originally got. It's still delicious, but it's a different plant. So I know it's a bit confusing. If anybody ever has any questions on what I'm talking about, feel free to private message or email me. I can explain it a bit better. Here's another, oops, got to turn the camera around first. Here's a Veroni Glaz, one of the more healthier ones. I just saved a whole bunch of seeds for this. That's a pretty one, huh? I taste, and despite the heavy antho, it does have a little bit of antho flavor, like little red and black, but it was actually quite tasty. This is Jewel Beetle, which I grew indoors last winter. It was very much a hanging basket variety. It's not so much outside for me. I don't know who else has grown it and what you think. I'm wondering if the hanging wispiness of it was because, Michael, yours was hanging basket too? Okay, good to know. I mean, I didn't plant these seeds until pretty late. I don't have a date on there. That's unusual. So maybe it's just not hanging yet. Indoors, it definitely was. This one is sold by Grafsamina as a micro. I shared this last week too. This is called Chocoladnik or Chocoladnik. It's not even a mini dwarf. It's a dwarf. It's in this tiny little pot. and it's still growing. It's not looking so good because I forgot to water it. You are getting huge fruits that I see are starting to ripen. But if you have these seeds and wanted to grow it for the Palooza, keep in mind it's like over 30 inches tall. I think when I last measured it, it was like 32 inches tall. So that would require a special scenario, greenhouse, or special circumstances. I wanted to show you a couple of the micro peppers that I'm growing for anybody doing the Palooza in Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap. This one's called, can I zoom back? I can't. Confetti, also from Tomato Eden. Look at the variegated foliage, really pretty. And I have my first ripe fruit here. Here's a green one. Super pretty, and this is one of the micro peppers that she sells on the site. I have some others too. A lot of these peppers that I'm growing in here I do have on the new spreadsheet. Here's that caramel that I showed inside the little chocolate bell peppers. This one here is caramel. This one's Paradiso, which is supposed to be, I think sometimes they get taller here in the green stalk because I forget to turn it around and they're searching for light. That's not supposed to be that tall. What else? Not that. Oh, Gem. Gem is supposed to be a micro mini also with little bell peppers. You can find all this info on the spreadsheet I put in Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap. This one's called Candy Cane Red, which Deb Toothaker gave me. It seems pretty mini dwarf to me, or at least it's acting that way in the green stalk. What's this guy? Who are you? I'm the worst camera person. This is Ampuus. Try to get this one out of the way. Ampuus. I just picked the first one the other night, red one, and that's definitely mini. I would say 14 inches maybe. There's so many candyberry seeds, I wonder what will grow. Yeah, me too, Michael. And using it for crosses. I've thought of that too. But, I mean, what I'm growing right now is definitely good. Here's an example too, and I think I showed this last week also. I was given seeds for Plumbrella Pink. And this is Rosy, Funny Plum Rosy Pink. That's not what they're supposed to look like. They're super cool. No doubt, they're super cool. But this is not what a Plumbrella really looks like, and this is not what a Funny Plum looks like. Bloom's about telling you what generation it is. So some of us don't care. Cool, I'll grow out the F2. You know, I just want the Funny Plum Rosy Pink. You're gonna get something cool probably. So I appreciate what he does on his site with, he's very upfront, says it right in the graphic, I think, which generation it is. And I appreciate that. But others don't. Some not know. You know, we all trade with one another and get excited. So some, it may just be they don't know. Like in the case of Candyberry, I've spoken to 2 vendors that they had no idea that it came from a hybrid. It's a really good one. So, you know, these things happen. Oh, here's another. I didn't realize I was growing so many mini peppers. These I started kind of late. It's called Bohemian Baron. Look at the size of this. Really tiny. I should have my tape measure out here. That's pretty. Haven't tasted any of those yet. These only at the end of May. Bohemian Baron. Forget where I got seeds for that. This one's called Mandarin, which are going to be these little orange bell peppers, and that came from Tomato Eden. And then this one's a hybrid called Mini Bell Sweet Orange. And then somewhere I've got like the pumpkin pepper, I think. Where is that? Oh, I think that's over here. Yeah, I've got 2 more minis over here. I wanted to grow them out so I could report on things for the Micropalooza. Here I've got pumpkin pepper sweet red F1 and pumpkin pepper sweet gold F1. These I got seeds I got Totally Tomatoes. That's part of a series, I think from Hem Genetics. Really cool hybrid mini peppers. Okay, I'm back, I think. Oh, and these are popping up everywhere. Last year I grew a really cool pepper variety called Dreamcatcher, which is it's a hot pepper, hot and spicy pepper, and they're popping up everywhere. I did not plant those. Here I've just replaced the cucumber that was in here with 2 more quick snack cucumbers, which I was talking about indoors. It's a great F1 hybrid variety that gives you quite a few of these really great cucumbers. And back to cucumbers, I tried a new hybrid this year that a friend gave me in a trade. This plant looks awful, but it's called Quirk. And these were really neat. Oh, hang on, let me get this basil out of the way. These were really neat. This plant was full of these little cucumbers. Uh-oh, something's beeping. What's going on? I don't know. So Quirk, Q-U-I-R-K. I think seeds are only available at Johnny's. And I ordered more. They're hybrid, so they cost a bit. But I grew 2 plants, and I really love the look of those little cucumbers. Honestly, though, the quick snack, I think, tastes better. Really tasty for a mini cucumber, and that's a hybrid also. All right, where are we going? I want to show you large membranous, the cluster on that. Oh, here are my hybrids, the drop the micros that I didn't up pot. They weren't exhibiting things I was looking for in the plant, so they're sort of cast-offs, but I'm also paying attention to what's going on. You can see the difference in the fruits. We've got a big one there. We've got small round ones here. We've got elongated ones like a funny plum here. The crosses are Tiny Totem and Funny Plum Yellow. So I'm paying attention. I want the plant to stay short. I want it to be productive. I, of course, want them to taste great. I want large fruits if possible. And, you know, having a cool shape would be cool too. But I'm growing, so all of these, I'm calling it Drop the Micro because I wanted to steal the name. But to be honest with you, every single one of these is a different variety. Pick your favorites and eat the leftovers. That's what I'm doing with the F2s. I intend to do just that. So anyway, these were the plants that didn't make the cut as far as being up-potted. I'll show you down there, which did, but they're not looking so great. Oh, here's a plant, another plant that Deb gave me. I'm assuming it's spicy. This is called, no, I can't even read it. Something, ruby jalapeno. These are beautiful, huh? They look like your mouth would be on fire. Pretty, that's not a micro or mini, but really pretty foliage too. Have not tried that. They're beautiful. And back here, we did try this one. This is called Rainbow Sun. Actually, look at this. This is a mini dwarf. I wonder if it's on my list. I better check. These I got from Tomato Eden also. Gosh, that's like 10 inches tall probably. I've got 2 of these plants, and they're just gorgeous. Pretty productive too. The problem I have with peppers is my plants are never super productive. Or some of them. This, I'll have to put the review up in PLC. But, oh, that would be a good, I'm glad I noticed this. I can grow it again indoors. That's really tiny. Rainbow Sun, Tomato Eden. I think she calls it Rainbow is Sun in English. Here's my Drop the Micros that did make the cut, but I'm looking kind of sad. But I'm not really paying it, even though the foliage is kind of gone on many of them. I'm not paying attention to that so much right now. This has got good production on this one. Got one really big one, considering it's such a small plant. Interesting, the fruits are a little all over the place. Here's a tiny one with big fruits. Here's a tiny one with one big fruit, round. Here's another productive one. These are all in 1 gallon grow bags. Here's one with got some unique shapes. Looks productive, still stuff coming. So lots of stuff to look at. Oh, Michael, I wanted to show you this. I'm growing there's my, hey Sandra, glad you're here. That's my little Napoleon that I'm stabilizing, which is obviously on the way out. But I've got a mutation I'm working on called Tiny Napoleon. And that's this and this. I grew them, and this. I grew them in 1 gallon grow bags, tiny. And look at the size of the fruits on these. Seriously, super excited. Height is maybe 16 inches, maybe 14. This one's not all that tall. I know, Michael, I know. I will give you. I picked a couple inside. Let me show you the ones I picked inside. Uh-oh, she's going back inside. There's a couple that are ripening. I've been specifically not uppotting them because I wanted to see what they would do in a tiny grow bag, because the goal is always to grow indoors. Here they are. Look at these. Look at the size of them. How cool will that be come January, huh? All right, I will go back outside, I promise. So that one I'm calling Tiny Napoleon. Yeah, they are pretty. I'm really excited about that. Michael and I keep referring to him because I know Michael, he's my breeding buddy, my micro breeding buddy. We started breeding micros together. We're kind of on this journey together, which is really nice. So yeah, that's a Tiny Napoleon. Look at how many there are on there too. There's a lot, and it's tiny, 1 gallon grow bag, tiny, tiny, tiny. Lots of big fruits. And this was huge, so I'm really excited about this. I need to save seeds from that last generation and grow it out again. All right, let's show you large membranous. So if you're just joining us, you may have noticed last week I put up something in the group that Mr. Tomato Head, my husband Rob, finally got his 2-pound tomato that he's been searching for 30 years. It's a variety, I'm not sure where it's from, called large membranous. I got seeds from Carolina's Paradise on Etsy. I do know she gets a lot of things from Russia. She has family over there. So it could be from there. I've never seen anything else on it. Huge, it was a 2.5-pound tomato. You've got to look at this plant. Look at this. Plant's looking sad. All the plants are looking sad. Here's my hand to get a grasp. Look at how many. And they're all huge. And they actually taste pretty good. I shared that earlier. They actually taste pretty good. You know, in the past, what we've done to get a big tomato, and we've got that over in the in-ground garden going on now, we will prune the heck out of it. We will only keep a couple fruits on the plant to focus the energy on those tomatoes. This one we totally forgot about. It was one that my son picked out to be funny because of the name, large membranous. Didn't pay any attention to it, and he got us the 2-pound tomato. But I can't get over how many there are, and they're all, I mean, that may be a 2-pounder back there too. It looks like it might be, actually. Didn't notice that until now. Huge, huge. And I like the deep ribbing, that peachy color. Yeah, it turns deep red. But I was surprised that it actually tasted good, and pleasantly surprised, because a lot of those that you grow for big just don't seem to taste good. All right, let's go back a bit and show you the sad state of my garden. Here it is. It looks like the end of September. Why did this happen? Well, I think it's because we had a drought all summer, and then we got a lot of rain in a couple days thanks to Tropical Storm Debbie. But also, and I'm starting to believe this to be true, what's going on over here is a little different from what's going on behind me in the in-ground beds, which we're already at 81 minutes. Well, maybe we'll get to, maybe we won't. The stuff in the raised beds, it's mushroom compost. It's our second year using a mushroom compost topsoil mix. What happens in these beds is things grow a lot, flourish really fast. We get very early production, early ripening. It seems much earlier than a lot of people in our zone. and then it comes on hard and fast, and then it ends. It's almost like it's a shot of steroids or something, and it like goes crazy. And then it's like, okay, we're done now. It's really weird, because if it's just disease, it would be happening over there too. And it is a little bit, but not like over here. So I don't know. I mean, our production is insane. That I know I can attribute to the mushroom compost topsoil mix. Production is insane. And eventually the plant's got to die, right? I mean, how much energy can it produce? So it's like a graveyard. You also know, if you've followed me for a while, that I pick everything at first blush. Clearly, there's things on here that were not picked at first blush. In fact, there's some things that are dying out here. Wow, there's leaves falling. That's weird. It's only mid-October, August. What the heck month is it? So many tomatoes. We've really been blessed this year. And I can't keep up with it. You saw what I had going on inside. If you're just tuning in, you can watch back. I show inside. I've got Jarsons here. Jarsons that I have not picked. We've tasted them all. I've saved seeds. I want to continue to do more. I've got some really good Jarsons I haven't picked. Jarson 13 Ochre Pear is incredibly productive. I can't keep up with it. You've got things that are rotting out here. I mean, it's like sacrilege. Tomatoes rotting on the vine in my world is sacrilege. I can't handle it. But there's only so much space we have in the house. There's only so much seed saving and processing I can do, giving tomatoes away. So I'm doing the best I can. And this is part of the reason why I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. Canning a lot, because I hate anything going to waste. This pains me. But it's okay. We're really wasting very little at this point. And some are going to die out here, I know. Let me show you another one of my son's picks. Sand penis. Probably the most productive of the year. Even this plant is dying. We've got peanut, those large membranous. I know, if you're looking for a good tasty red, that's a good one. A big one. I've got stuff on the ground, but look at all these. I mean, I just don't even know what to say. They don't taste bad at all. They don't have, to me they taste like a plum tomato, which to me most of them, they taste like a tomato. Not good, not bad, just kind of okay. So they're great in the crack. They'll be great in salsa and all that. But there's a lot of them. Now I call this the Leaning Tower of Peni. It's leaning a bit after the rains. These yellows over here are a imposter variety. It was supposed to be Rojo Verde Bicolore de Jarl from Tomato Eden. It's supposed to be like a green-red striped bicolor. What I'm getting is this incredibly productive plant with these yellow bicolors that are actually quite delicious. Here's that prime rib, which I was excited about at the beginning of the season because it's a short plant with really big fruits. To me, the taste was just okay. I mean, look at these plants are falling down. Here's one I think we need to taste tonight that we have not tasted yet. It's a red called Pamyati Corneva. Forget where I got seeds for that one. I remember reading the listing to all you guys from Tomato FIFO. I almost feel at this point though, like, what's the point? I've found the perfect red. It's called bacon, lettuce, and this. I don't need to find another red. I mean, Ed's Millennium was good the other night. Really good. But it wasn't bacon, lettuce, and this. I can't imagine finding another red that's as good as that. Or better than that. I just can't. My life is complete. We're growing at least 2 plants next year. Let me show you what that plant looks like. Healthier than a lot of them. Oh, this is a pepper. I think Jen gave me Spitz paprika. I don't know anything about it, but these are really big. All right. This is bacon, lettuce, and this. Not terrible. Very tall. There's new life up there, but it's probably too late at this point. Here's what we're left with as far as fruits. We've got one. Oh, I got to pick that. Pick that before it goes bad. The rest of them are little little small. Hi, Sathia. There's a couple back here, 3 more back here. Those are small. They have been like over or around 1 or 8 pounds, 1 pound. I see some little guys up here. That's cool. Oh, yay. Cool. It's just so freaking delicious. Oh, I see really little guys up there. Yeah. Well, we technically don't get a first frost until mid-October, so maybe. What the heck is that? What is this? Oh, I know what that is, I think. Oh, cool. This is a long keeper. Sufferwell isn't a red. Sufferwell's a red striped. It's not a solid red. This was another variety I was on search for forever. Banyel Bufar, a long keeper. Finally got it from Great Lakes Staple Seeds Company. It's a very hard to find variety from Spain, I believe. And I was just noticing up here, what are these cherries? But they're not, they're Banyel Bufars. Oh, I'm so excited because I thought the plant was dying. It's just dying down here. I tasted one. They're really, really tasty and definitely saving seeds for. You can't find these anywhere else but Great Lakes Staple Seeds Company, and they only sell for like a week out of the year. I would like to grow this big yellow. Do you save seeds? I am saving seeds for that, Yvette. I'm really glad you asked. I didn't know how to bill it. You know, sometimes I get imposters and I'm like, it's not even worth it. I am saving seeds for that. I'm just calling it Rojo Verde di Colore Nut. It's really beautiful. I will, if I remember, or you can remind me, I'll send you the graphic I made showing the interior is stunning with this bicolor. And it's quite good. So I am saving seeds from it, and I'd be happy to send them to you because it's, I did speak to Tatiana from Tomato Eden about it. And, you know, it seems, I don't know, anything can happen. It seems strange to be an accidental cross. They're very big, very delicious. I feel like a lot of times when I get an accidental cross, it's like kind of a medium size cherry or like plum. Like, I don't know. What do I know? I'm just Mrs. Tomato Head. But anyway, it's pretty outstanding. So I would be happy to send you seeds. Remind me, but I'll try to remember myself. So yay, I'm excited about more Banyel Bufar. I've already got a shelf worth saving inside. Unfortunately, I don't have any. I'm growing 4 long keepers. I don't have any of them that are like in these beautiful long strands that I can hang them up like I envisioned. I mean, they aren't. Maybe some of them up here that are ripening. I don't know. Gosh, I didn't see all this healthy stuff up there. That's exciting. Yay. Yeah, bacon lettuce in this. Oh, how I love let me count the ways. This was another Jake Pick Monkey's Ass, which I just thought did not taste good. Oh, this was a tasty one. Kenai Mondo Green. Notice how I'm talking about it. Everything is in the past. There's still life here, but you can clearly see it's like a graveyard out here. Kenai Mondo Green. They're these little green, delicious things. Let me pick one. There's the interior. Yummy. Great garden snack. I think I share this every week, but I can't get over this African blue basil. I've shared several times, but in case it's your first time watching, this is a variety that does not go to seed, so you cannot purchase seeds from it anywhere. I got a plant on Etsy, a scrawny little plant, and I probably have about 10 of them all over the garden just from propagating. And they attract pollinators like nothing I've ever seen, the butterflies and especially the bees. And it's beautiful and tasty. It gets so bushy. See a couple bees over here right now. Hey man, do your thing. And then hit the tomatoes, why don't you? I've been this whole time deleting $200 worth of seeds from my Tomato Eden cart so I could order Lauren, Keena, and Jennifer. I'm going so long, I better remember to order those. Look at him. Am I getting him? Yeah, there he is. Hello, beautiful one. Did you ever think you'd love bees so much? Here's ET, which came from Meraki seeds. That was okay. That was okay. I've got a lot of zinnias coming up because my original zinnias, the bunnies ate. So I've got a couple coming up. There's only one that they didn't eat over here. This is a Dawn Creek is it Dawn Creek Pastels? Yes, Dawn Creek Pastels, which Malachite Jen gave me seeds for. Those are beautiful. What else? This is Jarson 17. I've got 2 Jarson 17s. How can these still be on the vine with my obsession with Jarsons, I ask you? Because I can't keep up with it, that's why. But that's a good thing. These Jarsons, every single one is incredibly productive. So I've got one Jarson 17 that came from Lux Tomatoes. The other one came from Teresa at Terra Nova Farms. I think they taste pretty similar. I mean, looking at some of this is painful. Look at these Jarson 12/1. They're so cool, right? And they're just sitting here on the vine. This is one of my favorites of the year. I gave one to Heidi as she was leaving today. Jarson 7. I'm growing 2 Jarson 7s. I'm calling this one Jarson 7 Fire because it looks like fire. Really productive. Really, really productive. Okay, I think I'm back. And I did. I ordered the seeds for this Jarson 7 Fire from Lux Tomatoes because their picture showed this beautiful striped, delicious looking tomato. This is quite different, but I'm not complaining. Not complaining. Come on over, Drew. We have some eating to do. And then I've got 2 Jarson 5s. The Jarson 5s have been crazy productive. Look at that. They're rotting on the vine. I just can't even. This was my Jarson 4 plum, which was supposed to be a red beefsteak. Turned out to be not a plum, a pear. Definitely saving seeds for that. This Jarson 2 has been giving me these massive red tomatoes. And then here's my beloved Jarson 1 tricolor, which despite looking dead, it is still producing. Still producing. And then this was my Jarson 1 striped heart, which I picked every last one off of because it's so unique and different. I had to save seeds to share with all of you. All right, we're at 94 minutes. I really should wind this down. How painful is this? Oh my gosh. Abraham Brown has been really productive. Alafirov's Secret has been really productive. Aljanuska, all of it's productive, just about. This is Lavorgienne, the last of my Lavorgienne. This I shared about a few weeks ago, and this is a really sorry example, but Yvette, if you like that imposter I had, you're going to like this. This is, well, I was given the seeds, told it was Sgt. Pepper's White. Gotta pick this one. This is a tiny one. The seeds I got from a tomato friend in Poland. She said they were Sgt. Pepper's White. Hers were kind of this color in the pictures. And I looked up Sgt. Pepper's White from a site in, I think Denmark or Hungary, I forget which one. And he said that the white he got one year, it was a mutation off of Sgt. Pepper's Yellow, but his had like antho and stuff on it. I can't possibly call this Sgt. Pepper's White. I got the massive amounts of these huge ones that look just like this, and they were really, really good. So I'm renaming it Sgt. Pepper's Peach. It has no antho on them. It's absolutely gorgeous and delicious. So that's another. That one's not technically an imposter. I was given seeds as Sgt. Pepper's White, but when you look at the listing for Sgt. Pepper's White, it is not. It is not Sgt. Pepper's White, so I can't possibly give out seeds calling it that. This is a unique one. I got seeds from Kina. I think they came from Kotaru, called Fred SGDB. It's a tricolor. It was just okay. I was hoping for more from that one. Amarillo Rust Heart, my God, talk about productive. That thing, crazy productive. I didn't care for that all that much. Those came from Bounty Hunter. Here's the multicolor plant. This has been one of our most productive beefsteaks of the year and quite delicious too. Seven Rivers tricolor. That's one of our only spitters of the year. Do you have tomatoes that look like a rusty orange, or is it just showing that way? I do. The Jarson 17s look rusty, and the Abraham Browns look rusty. Abraham Browns, you can see they have a rust color to them. Absolutely gorgeous, right? That's Abraham Brown. And then back over here, well, also the Jarson 13 Ochre Pear is sort of rusty. But these, the Jarson 17s, when they're really ripe, they look rusty. I'm assuming those are what you're talking about. Let's go to anything else I wanted to show over here. If you're just joining us, this is the large membranous cluster. It's just insanity, crazy. There's also a cluster, where's the best angle? Jarson 26, version 2, version 1. That's really productive too. Trying to get through all the dead stuff here to get to my tomatoes. I didn't show you the remnants of microberry Jerry. Microberry is this hanging plant here. I shared a video in the group a week or two ago of this little chipmunk who hangs from those trusses. He really likes this one. He hides out down here and then he leaves his remnants. It's quite cute, actually. So we named him Microberry Jerry. Microberry's a variety by breeder Lucas Wallman, who's in our group. There's also a very similar one that's a red version. I actually like the flavor of better. This is Microberry, which, Michael, I think you're growing this one, right? Microberry, these are tiny little red ones. Microberry Jerry tends to like the yellows, which I'm glad because I kind of prefer the reds. And this sorry looking thing is Tumbling Jester. Really looking bad. Oh, here's the plant for Malachite Elf. The one I know I'm going to cause a lot of problems with because it's an insanely good tomato. These are small on the small side. The original ones were bigger. I've got 2 plants of this. Boy, is this a good tomato. I retired the microberry, got too big for the AeroGarden. Not surprised. Malachite Elf. So delicious. Here's one of the healthier looking ones. Dwarf Ochre Heart, which I love. Kina tasted it. I'm not sure how stable it is. I've heard 2 other people grow it. They say it was just okay. For me, it's one of the superstars of the year. It is so sweet, so good. So I'm not sure. This is Bill Yoder's Controversy from the Prince line, which it's crazy. I planted these, I'm looking at the tag now, February 7th, they're just starting to ripen. Did take a long time to take off. All right, so here's the in-ground garden. Not looking quite as pathetic as the other bits, but these also took a lot longer to take off. So I swear the mushroom host is like steroids. It grows really, really fast, and then it's like, I'm tired. But we get a lot of tomatoes from it. This is that Carrie Claxon that I showed inside, the ones that are just going to be purely orange, that I got seeds from Secret Seed Cartel. They say they're really rare. I tend to not grow just orange tomatoes because I find them pretty boring. This one is crazy healthy and productive, Etoile Chocolate. Haven't had one of those in a while, but that's been a favorite this year too. They're really pretty. They get to be like a chocolate color, and wow, that needs some staking, but that's very healthy, which is great because we like it. This is Sicilian Godfather. We've picked a couple. We tasted it last week. It was just okay. Here's Green Milo. And then this was Black Milo, but I think I picked them all off. But I shared inside, if you're just joining, that the green or the Black Milo actually turned out to be green. Here I've got some late season Shake the Disease, which makes me happy. So that was one of our absolute favorites of the year. Small ones, but still. This is Behind the Wheel by Bill Yoder, really productive. You can see they're just, the plants, or the fruits are just not doing good after all that rain. And here we've got some late season Suffer Wells coming. Again, small, but I'll take it. Those are flavor bombs for sure. Here's Bananas Noir. Ooh, still going, still going. Wow. These tend to be really healthy. And they really pretty much are. I see some disease there, but they're pretty healthy. And while we get our first ripe ones, we get a couple ripe ones early in the season, they tend to really like end of season. I see a whole bunch coming up there. So other years. This is the typical size right here, but I'm getting some that look tiny. Not sure why. Go bananas, go. They're worth it though. Here is Cunning Wizard. Kind of small fruits, probably because of grow bag. Ray has been a diseased mess for us this year. I think we only got 2 fruits, which is unfortunate. This is one of the long keepers. I actually picked 3 big ones and they're inside. These came from a member in Spain. It's from his father's village, Ramalet Kalpapa. You can't find seeds anywhere, so it's a pleasure to grow those. This is Cordaro and Ansel. If you're still there, this is You Can't, You Won't, You Don't Stop Cherry, which is really starting to grow on me. I thought it was just okay, but now that I'm snacking on them in the garden, wow. Yeah, I swear sometimes late season tomatoes are better. I think a lot of times late season tomatoes are better. What do we have? Some remnants of Carl's Emsland Traube here. Oh, what's going on here? That's definitely disease. That's Black Hole Sun. Really great cherry. Cross, sun gold is in the cross. That's what it looks like if it's not diseased on the other side or eaten by, we're getting infested with those stink bugs. But that's what it looks like. Black Hole Sun was a winner. Pixie Fire from Terra Nova Farms. Very productive, disease resistant. One of our favorites of the year. This is my cherry. This is called Roadrunner. It was called Strawberry Coyote until this year. Both Jen and I grew it, and it's no longer a strawberry color. It is yellow. But it's really good. It's one of my coyote crosses. It's got a touch of antho at the top. I don't know if you can see it. And they're super sweet. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. So happy to share those seeds with anybody. They're anything but stable, but those, and then let me show you the other one I'm stabilizing. Both of them are crosses of coyote that I've been working. I should probably end because I keep reconnecting or disconnecting. So this will probably be the last garden tour of the year because things are just dying. But who knows? I said that last week, maybe next week there'll be more things to show. There'll definitely be stuff coming in. Just incredible. Lauren did well, especially with the temps and drought. Yeah, I think so. I mean, you certainly can't complain with that, right? Cannot complain with that. So thanks for joining me, you guys. Hope to see you. I'll be here on Thursday at my desk downstairs for Lauren's awesome sauce sharing. Maybe that'll be the episode with 8 or 9 out of 10s of the year. We'll see. We'll see. I have a couple other things to talk about. So anyway, peace, love, get your gratitude on. Go grow tomatoes. And thanks for being here, everybody. Bye.